Stretch. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, I am not going to lie. It's been kind of hard being productive right now, but I'm up and I have the opportunity to be. So I've been kind of slow for this whole cipher because it's cold outside. But I was able to kind of clean up around the van a little bit. I mean, I haven't done the post radio show promo stuff, which I probably should, but I haven't gotten to that yet. But for this break session, I want to talk about. So I've spoken about this quite a bit here on the show, right? And I'm going to share my screen here, and I want to talk more about it because they have this new thing which I think is pretty dope. And so I've been talking about Dino for a minute, right? I'm a big fan of Dino, and what I like about them is that they're not just like, hey, we have this runtime, it's super cool, go ahead and do stuff. They actually have they look like they're doing a lot of work around the ecosystem that goes around Dino, right? Like for example, they have uh Fresh. So if you wanted to be able to use like React and spin up a frame like a whole full stack app on Dino, you can use like Fresh, right? There's integration with uh Astro, which I've used, is pretty dope. They have like a whole KV store thing, so if you want to have kind of like a little database kind of thing in the cloud, you can do that as well. They have a whole SaaS thing that they did, so you can spin up a lot of stuff. Oh, and being able to use like npm packages, like using Node packages on Dino. It seems like they're really trying to like make it easy for people to at least try Dino. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think is pretty dope. Like they're lowering the barrier to just give it a try and see if you like it. You know what I'm saying? Spit up something quickly. And so, like, when they came up with Dino deploy to be able to kind of like serve up applications like on their own servers, their own Dino servers, I was like, let me try that. So when they came out with Dino deploy, so I'm gonna add this link to the list of links that you can check out. All right. And so just real quick, we spoke about this before, but simple serverless JavaScript, so you can do a whole bunch of stuff. So you can serve JavaScript files. So you can do like a server to like serve a website or what have you. And that's what I did when I built. Let me see, share this tab instead. What's that in, right? And so I made this because I travel a lot for like my job, and so whenever I go to different countries, a lot of times I just don't want to be like swiping my card, not knowing what I am buying and how much it costs, right? And so I created this so I could kind of get an idea of what it is and how much I'm spending. And so, like, let's say like Singaporean dollars. But what's cool is you can actually type in. So let's say like Japanese yen, it'll pull up. So I have like a list of all the different currencies, right? And so yeah, so let's say, especially in Japan, because there's like extra zeros. I'm like, wait, what if I'm a zero off? You know what I'm saying? And so let's say something was like 1,000 yen, right? Convert that, bam. So 1,000 yen is like $7.70. All right, not too much of a freak out, right? And then you can do another one, all the other things. But I also added the ability to let me go back. Oh, the sizing is weird. But if so I have like a history, so you can check all the different like if stuff that I was working on before. And then I have different settings to where you can set when you load the page what loads automatically, and then like under the about, again you can see I use Astro, Cloudinary, Dino right here, and I used it for the host application, which is the Dino deploy. Right, cool. So under deploy, I promise all this is getting to a point. So under Dino deploy, there's the where you go, here you go. So yeah, so if you go under like your dashboard, so here's my application here, right? And you can click on that and that'll pull up your whole thing here. Now I mentioned KV before, that's super dope. It's like a key value store. So you can like set things, and it's distributed. So the data would be, if it pulled quicker, closer to the person. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty dope. All right. And they have like a cron job, which I haven't even like played around with. That's pretty dope. And then with it, so you have like, so you can see all the different deployments. Again, this is leading somewhere. But here, the analytics, I haven't used this thing since I traveled. Last time I traveled was like in November of last year, 2023. We're in January 2024. And it's weird. Like, this is the past 24 hours. I have no clue where these requests are coming from. So, I mean, I don't know if other people, I mean, it is on the internet. So maybe people are using it. I don't know. But cool. Either way. Now, they also have, if you look here, this where you're able to like code in the browser and deploy your app. So I coded what's that.in separately on my machine, right? But you could also do this thing where, so I was kind of like playing around with it when I first heard about it. And so you could actually code like your server in their browser. And that's what I did here. This is like an older one when they had it here, but then they had the Dino serve. So I was kind of like playing around with it or whatever. But yeah, and you make a change. Let me do this. Let me add a point. And it will give you like a URL that you can then go ahead. So you see how it changed. And it will go ahead and give, so you can then use this URL anywhere else, right? Pretty dope stuff. So all that leads me to this thing that I saw on their blog recently. Share this tab instead. That this is pretty dope. Build your own cloud IDE with the sub-hosting API. So kind of like what they did with that other, like kind of that example where you code it in the browser and you can spin up your own server. This kind of takes that to another level, to where then you can have your own account and then you can have like sub-hosting underneath that one, right? And so I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. Here, so I was like, I want to read through this and so we can kind of talk about it. And that's all that to lead to this. All right. So build your own cloud IDE with the sub-hosting API. Shouts to Kevin Winery and Andy Jiang. All right. It just came out. It's the 21st. So yeah, so like 5 days ago. All right. Cool. So more and more SaaS platforms are allowing their users to customize their product with code, such as creating a bespoke workflows or via an app/integrations marketplace. And that is similar to what we have at Vonage, where I work. And so we have it to where developers can basically like, because we have specific use cases for our developers, right? So you want to add real-time communications. And we want them to be able to not have to worry about all the behind the scenes stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a whole lot of things that you can set up for yourself, right? But let's say you don't want to have to worry about all that. Well, we have an actual cloud runtime thing where we know because you log in, so you don't have to worry about your API keys or secrets or any of that. Like all that is set up for you, right? So if you want to build like an application using Vonage products, it's just a lot easier for you to do that on the cloud runtime, right? And so it's pretty dope. And then like it mentions here, we have like a marketplace. So people can add, like if they have their own things that use Vonage, we have it like you can like make it like a starter for other people to use. You know what I mean? And so like we have like different, like if you want to make a phone call. And so we have like the starter for you. You just deploy that to your cloud runtime. You don't have to worry about all the behind the scenes stuff and all the webhook stuff or whatever. That's set up for you. So you just attach your phone, like a number to it, and then it just works. Stuff like that. Pretty dope. So that's all that, right? So this is something similar. And so in a popular approach to enabling code level customization with minimal friction is through a cloud IDE directly in their product. So like going back to the Vonage Cloud Runtime. So let's say you pick a starter project that lets you create a call center or something, right? Well, from there, you're able to go into the code. So it shows you like the starter code and you can go in the browser, like, and then do all that. So you don't have to do any of this stuff locally or anything on your machine. You can just do it and then deploy it, and it's super dope. So this is similar to that, right? So imagine being able to do your own. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So they have like this image here, this GIF, I'm assuming. Is it a GIF? No, I think it's a video. It's actually a video. All right. And so you see here, so kind of similar to what I was showing before in the deploy thing, you kind of have like your own IDE where you can create it and then you deploy it and then your act is available on the internet, which is pretty dope. Right. So, and then they have this video that kind of like walks you through it. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, but this whole thing is pretty dope. So in this post, we'll show you how to build your own cloud IDE using the Dino subhosting API, which allows you to programmatically deploy and run code within seconds on Dino Deploy's global V8 isolate cloud. So it's like your own like little server, like it's like your own little cloud, which is pretty dope. So like your application, you can have like little things that other people can use and is on like their own. It's pretty dope. Like, so it's independent of yours. So it's not like cross intermingling. Pretty dope. So we'll walk through our subhosting IDE starter template. So that's pretty dope. They give you a starter template. And it's built on Hano, which is like on Dino, I guess kind of like Express, like a lightweight server. So it takes in requests and send back responses, right? And then Ace Editor, which is, this one's a new one to me. I haven't seen that before, but it looks pretty dope. It's like an IDE. So it's like a little code editor, right? And then Dino. So they have that, but they also walk you through. So they have a video, but they also walk you through it through text. So depending on if you like videos or text or both, you have your options. So that's pretty dope. All right. Let's see. So yeah. Okay, cool. And M's doing random stuff here. Sorry. So before we get started, so you're gonna need like a Dino deploy account. So that's what I was using for the what's that.in site. And then you need to Dino deploy subhosting organization, which you then create from your Dino deploy dashboard, which I haven't done that yet. I have ideas because I do like workshops, and sometimes I don't know, but then again, I work at Vonage, so we kind of have like our own cloud runtime. So if it's a Vonage specific thing, I would probably use that. But if it's anything else where I need like a webhook, right? I could probably do something like this. And as I'm showing people how to do stuff, they'll be able to deploy their own like servers to like webhooks to be able to follow along with what I'm working on. So yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah, so then you create the file structure here. Cool. I wonder if this is also, yeah, this is probably part of that starter thing that they talked about before. So you can probably do that. Let's see. So then you need an access token, cool, and the org, and then you set it up here. All right, cool. And then they walk you through setting up everything that you need. They use JSX, it looks like. All right. Cool. And then you fill in the logic for the stuff here. So this is for the subhosting thing. All right. Then this is where you list all the different subhost projects. All right. Cool. Then all right. Then you get the deployments. Yes. All right. And then if you want a singular, it's like you're posting the deployment. So create deployment for the given project with the subhost API. So let's see what that does. So you have the subhosts here, SHC, which they probably, where do they create that? Oh, here you go. SHC, cool. So using our SHC ref, so a new client, so subhosting client, cool. And it says create deployment. And then you pass in like the project ID, right? And then you have the entry point, the main.ts, which is what you created up here, right? All right, cool. And then, yeah, that's pretty dope. You need the code. So that's cool. So I guess in the main TS, what kind is the file, the content is actual code and the encoding of it. And then if you need any like environment variables, you can pass that. That's pretty dope. And then that just does everything for you. That is actually pretty dope. And then what you get back, I wonder what it is that you get back. Probably like if it went through okay, like a good or not good kind of thing. Definitely want to try this out. And then you can create a project for the given org here. And it's just create project. That's pretty dope. And then let's dig into the payload that you're sending to create a deployment. So that whole thing here, right? So entry point is the string. This string is the file name that serves as the main entry point. So like what you go to when you go to that endpoint or what have you. And then note that this value must map to a key under assets. Yes. So yes, because if it's going to look for here, right? Because it could be like index.ts or whatever, but you need to make sure that you have that here so it knows what to load. That's pretty dope. And assets is the JSON, environment variables, and then create the actual subhosting.ts. All right. Okay, so it's asking, hey, is there an endpoint? So let's see here. And then we have that org ID before the access token. Okay. All right. And then create functions that we've imported are using in main. Before we do that, let's import. Okay, so it has some helper functions, URL join and normalize. Okay, what would those do? But no, yeah, but this is super dope. Like being able to have users of your like application, if they need to, be able to kind of spin up their own like servers and be able to kind of like customize them. That is pretty cool. That is pretty dope. And so they kind of walk you through everything. And then again, you can check out the video if you want to check that out. Oh, also, so they had a hackathon. Again, it's super dope the way they are trying to get people involved, right? And so they had this to help people, I guess, come up with ideas and using it, and so they can get feedback. Is that they have this Dino sub-hosting hackathon? It's over now or whatever. I think it ended like yesterday or something. But I thought it was a pretty dope idea. Again, shouts to these folks here. And so yeah, so it ended on the 19th. Yeah, a couple days ago. And so they were kind of talking about here, and they had the submission guidelines. So you had to use the sub-hosting API, which makes sense because that's where they're trying to like get feedback and promote. And so they talk about like not sure what to build. This is why like they give you kind of like ideas. And so there are plenty of great cloud-based IDEs out there. Some meant for specific purposes, such as CodePen, which I use a lot, for front ends, and Val.town, which I've not used that before. I have to check that out. And then more general ones like Replit and Gitpod. And then like I'm assuming along the same lines of like Stack Blitz or what's the other one? Code Sandbox. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so regardless of the purpose, the streamlined development experience of these IDEs enable you to skip configuration and dive right into prototyping. So for anything that where you have like an application and you want people to be able to, I guess, like customize it, instead of having them having to pull down all the code and doing all that stuff on their local machine, maybe you want to make it easier for them to be able to just like open up an IDE, their code is there, make their changes, deploy it, good to go. Right. And so that's at least as far as I'm thinking, it'd be cool. So then they have the different resources here. So again, they have this template. They're using the Monaco editor. The other ones said the Ace one. Oh, well, yeah, they're also Ace. And there's other alternatives. Cool. Then yeah, so then they did a live stream. And again, that's where that video is. And so I wanted to talk about the prizes. So most fun, most useful, most technical, and Ryan's favorite, Ryan Dahl, the person who created Dino and Node. And then you get all winners receive a $100 gift card for Dino merch. So if you want some swag. All right, cool. So the winning submissions. So Dino blocks. This is pretty cool. It's like a drag and drop, like editor code. So you drag different code pieces, and I guess it will create the Dino deploy thing for you. So that's pretty cool. Then Dino code is like a code editor, right? Using ChatGPT. So you can generate code on your behalf. And it's using Firebase Auth, OpenAI, SvelteKit, and Monaco. All right, looks nice, cool. And then there was a Deco Play. So it's a CMS that uses a robust in-browser code editor. And it uses AI to create a pre-React component based off a screenshot of a website that you can upload. So I guess you upload a website and then it will create a pre-React component. So does it create a website? I don't know, but they have like a demo video, so you can want to check it out. And so it has Fresh. Again, Fresh is the framework that Dino created that uses like React under the hood to build like full stack apps. I'm like, they're doing a lot of cool stuff to get people to use it. You know what I'm saying? And then the favorite was the Dino blocks. And yeah, so again, shouts to Dino. Uh, they're really trying to get people to use the runtime, and by creating a really pretty dope ecosystem for developers to just even give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that as a person who wants to make it easy for people just to be able to try the thing that you're working on. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. So yeah, that's the reason why, like, for my job, like especially for like video stuff, I created web components so that it's even easier to create a video chat app. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about all the boilerplate stuff. You just want a video chat app to add to your application, right? So you just put in like video hyphen publisher, and your video will show up and it'll be streaming to the tech. You don't have to worry about all the listening for events and all that stuff. It just works. You know what I'm saying? You want to show people that are subscribed, video hyphen subscribers, show everybody else that's publishing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really like what they're doing, and so that's pretty dope. So I wanted to shout them out. All right, so have you tried Dino? Let me know. Again, I'll have a link to all the stuff that I spoke about, which I did not add. So let me add a link to the blog posts so you can check them out. Add this link. Then I'm gonna add this other link. Cool. So yeah, so next to the recording, you can check out all the different links and try it for yourself. It's pretty dope. And yeah, with that being said, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to send you all back with some traveling music. This right here is Anthony Cruz, a.k.a. A Butter. The track is called Thank You. Thanks for hanging out. See you 15 minutes after the hour for the final break session. And till then, we'll take a look at an artist's website. You know what I'm saying? But till then, I wish you much productivity, and catch you around. Again, this is Anthony Cruz, a.k.a. A Butter. Thank you. All right, y'all be easy. Peace.
I want to say thank you for holding on. When a brother was down and out, now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you for being there. When a brother had nowhere to turn to, you were there. And I feel like, hey, and everybody says, yeah, we spread love like, yeah. I want to say thank you for holding on. When a brother was down and out, now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you for being there. When a brother had nowhere to turn to.